Does your back hurt when you do exercises? Are you hiding and moving away from deadlift exercises or anything in a bent over row position? Hi, my name is Coach Dimitri from Pure Motivation Fitness, and today I'm going to take you through a hip hinge clinic. Hey guys, how are you? So we're talking hip hinge clinic because a lot of people don't do the bent over row position exercises or any exercises in the hip hinge position, okay? Now, this is one of the hardest exercises or positions of the body you can maintain, because if you don't have hamstring and glute flexibility, what's gonna end up happening is as you push your pelvis back, these two areas are gonna be tight, which are gonna cause your body to flex at the spine, which is a no-no. Now, there's ways to learn how to do a proper hip hinge, and you have to break it down into little steps. You can't just walk into an exercise and do it in one shot. So, the first thing you want to remember is you want to make sure you can master the cat-camel position. Now, a lot of people will do the cat-camel from the floor, hands shoulders apart, knees shoulders apart, and what you're basically doing here is rounding your back as far as possible and arching it as well. This way you can see how much range of motion you actually have in your spine. Does this hurt your back when you do the exercise? Do you feel any pain in your vertebrae? If no, perfect. We're gonna move on to step number 2. Now, I like doing the cat-camel from a bent over position because this is what you're gonna have to be in to do any type of movement. If you notice, my back is nice and straight and it's arched midway through. That's called the neutral spine. So hands on knees, round the back, arch it again. Round the back, arch it again. If you notice that every time you try to arch it, you're feeling tightness in the hamstrings, ladies and gentlemen, work on hamstring flexibility. If you notice you have the movement right, you can break it down to a further step. So, we've passed the first exercise. Number 2 is we're gonna go into a lying hip thruster. Why do I wanna do this exercise? I wanna make sure I'm gonna teach and I'm gonna train my brain to thrust from the pelvis forward. Okay, it's not coming from the legs, it's not coming from the low back, it's coming from the pelvis. A lot of people do this exercise wrong because the body's not used to thrusting the glutes forward, and they drive with their low back, they drive with their upper back, and they're using the wrong exercises. So once you get into doing this movement, I would say do 10, maybe 12 repetitions, you're gonna feel this part of your muscles coming forward, and you're gonna feel that that area is primed. Okay? The next thing you can do is grab yourself a dowel. Okay? Grab a stick, whatever it is, a broomstick. You want to put the broomstick midway to your back, and then put it right to the back of your neck. So if you notice, my bottom is touching the bottom of the bar, my head is touching the back. Okay? So now, if I'm going to be hinging back, this is going to keep my spine aligned. If I'm going to come backwards and go into the hip hinge position, you'll notice that as I go down, I gotta keep this neutral spine position. If not, the bar will come off my hands. So this will force you to stay in line. So let's do that again. I'm gonna hold on to it nice and tight. I'm gonna press my pelvis back. I'm gonna hold this, and now I'm maintaining that neutral spine position. I slowly come back. I'm pushing my hips back. I'm maintaining the neutral spine. I'm gonna hold for a few seconds so my body gets used to it. If you notice your back is bending, no problem, just come back up. Now to take this one step further, we want to use a bar or the wall to assist you in getting as far back as possible. So using the dowel behind your body, you're going to go back and see how far you can go with touching the wall, okay? So there's one position right there. I'm going to step a little bit forward now. I'm going to push my pelvis back and notice that I'm trying to hinge. I can touch the bar right now. I'm going to come forward. The more you practice this, the more you'll realize that you're hinging with the hips and not with the lower back. Now I can get rid of this. I can pretend I have a bar in front of me and I'm pushing my pelvis back as far as possible and I'm thrusting forward. Okay? Another thing you can do is you can wrap a band around your waist, tie it behind here, and as you come forward, the band will pull your hips back and you can drive forward, okay? So that's gonna help you work the hip hinge. Now, some of the best exercises you can do are the deadlift. Now, the deadlift is one of the most basic primal exercises everybody should be able to do. I don't care if you're a youth trying to get better for sports. I don't care if you're an adult trying to get stronger. I don't care if you're a senior trying to learn to pick up a box from the floor. The deadlift is a primal exercises that not many people do because of the fact that they're worried about injuring their back. Once you learn to do the proper hip hinge properly, it'll be a much easier exercise. Additionally, the bent over row is a great exercise performed for the upper body. The only challenge is when you're in bent over row position, you have to have a locked lower body. So as you're driving up with your elbows, you're trying to work on those lats. You're not going to have weaker body parts breaking through, losing that momentum. The kettlebell swing, one of the most important exercises you can do. A little bit more advanced for the beginner, but again, the same principle applies. If you're not hinging back with your hips and thrusting forward, you're going to lose all momentum. You're going to use your low back, which could cause harm. Lastly, you have the dumbbell rear raise. This is another exercise that is usually done improperly because of the fact that they don't have that stability, that strength in the lower back. And after doing 3 or 4 repetitions of the exercise, the legs get tired, the hips get tired, the low back goes. Hope you enjoyed today's tip on how to properly hip hinge. All you have to remember is in this position, you slightly buckle your knees, you're pushing your pelvis as far back as possible, and then you're locked in this position. As you drop down and as you raise up, your back will stay in neutral position and you will execute the movement as beautifully as possible. If you have any questions or you feel you still can't master this exercise or you need any help with any fitness exercises or any nutrition programs, feel free to reach out to us. We're always here to help. PureMotivationFitness.com. Remember, attitude is everything and only you can make the change to be happy. Reach out to us at PureMotivationFitness.com and have an amazing day.